Hello, 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 everybody. Hello. Good evening. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Blessings to you all. Blessings, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in. We're a little early tonight, but that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. We're a little bit early, but that's okay. That's okay. That means we get to stay on a little bit longer, right? So, good evening and happy Monday to you all. I'm really excited tonight. Um, just to be on. I'm just really excited tonight. And only sad thing is that I'll be by myself tonight. Welcome, right? Welcome. Come on in tonight. I'll be by myself because today is a national holiday. Welcome, everybody. Listen, do me a favor. Type something in the chat so I can give you a shout out. Those of you on YouTube, those of you on Facebook, those on the Zoom, I see you already. But I'm just excited about tonight. I'm excited about tonight. We're continuing our sessions tonight. So welcome again to Prayer for Marriages. Um, I am your host, Marcia Baker. I'm an evangelist in the kingdom. I'm also a chaplain. Yes, yes, yes. I'm also a chaplain, and I'm just grateful for everyone that has been supported this ministry through the years. Like I said, tonight I'm by myself, right? But just best believe that Evangelist Nikki is close by. Today is a national holiday in her house. It's Minister. I'm speaking it. It is her hubby's birthday. It is Sir Dwight Mackenzie's birthday. So they're celebrating on tonight. So that's why you don't see her smiling face. So, but I'm really, really happy that she's celebrating her hubby because we need to do that more often. We need to celebrate our spouses more often. All right. So I'm just grateful to God for that one tonight, that she's celebrating her hubby, just taking the time to celebrate him on tonight. So greetings and salutations to everyone. I'm just really excited about what God is doing with all of our lives. And we started the sessions 2 weeks ago about trust issues in relationships, and there's so many trust issues that we're dealing with, that most persons are dealing with, and we tend to like overlook them and don't deal with them. And so what happened is we have trust issues, and then they bubble up from we were people or young adult, maybe from the 8-10 age to puberty, then we bring them into our adult life, and so we never get those issues resolved, right? And so good evening again, everyone. We never get those issues resolved, and now we're married, and they're spilled over into our relationships, right? So we found out last week that when we asked the question, where do trust issues come from? And they come from early life experiences and interactions, right? And these experiences often take place in childhood. Some people don't get enough care and acceptance as children. Others are abused, violated, mistreated, and so on and so forth, right? So that's where the trust issues stem from. So this week we're going to talk about, is trust issue a red flag? Want to say yes. Some persons may say no, but I feel like trust issues is a red flag. If you're dating somebody, if you're starting out dating and the person can't trust you, to me, that's a red flag. Because number one, this person is new in your life, don't know you, so how come you're not able to trust them? So we have to, if I'm dating someone and right off the bat they have trust issues, then to me that's going to be a red flag. I don't know about anybody else, but that's going to be a red flag for me, right? Now, further on in the relationship, if something happened that caused you now not to trust me, or for me not to trust the person I'm dating, then yes, but it's a red flag. So if I'm just dating you and I can't trust you, that's a red flag. If we're just dating and the trust issue is there, why would you even want to prolong the relationship? That's just, I just want to say that. Why would you want to prolong the relationship if you don't trust the person? Because the foundation that it started on is mistrust. So every little thing the person does is going to be magnified why you don't trust them. And that's going to cause too many arguments. If the situation is just going to be too hectic, it's just going to be too toxic, it's just going to be the person you got. Listen, I don't, let me say this before I say my next statement by prefacing by saying this. I don't mind telling you where I am and where I'm going to be. But if I'm dating you, we're not in a committed relationship and you want to know my every move, something is not right. Right? I remember I was dating someone and I would be on the road and they would want to know exactly where I was on the road. But that time that person was cheating. So they didn't want to run into me or want me to run into them. Y'all know how it goes, right? In the dating scene, right? So we were dating. We weren't exclusive, but because they didn't want me to know where they were at a particular time, they would want to know where I was. Like if I said I'm at the mall, which mall, right? And how long you gonna be there? Maybe they wanted to come to that particular mall. I don't know, but I'm just saying, if they want to know your specific location like that, and you're just in the dating stage, check something. Something is not right. Okay. So listen, like I said, I don't mind telling persons where I am. I don't have a problem of accountability. But if me being accountable to you is so that I won't see you or find you doing something, then that's a problem for me. That's a problem. So yes, is trust issues a red flag in relationship? I'm going to say yes. If you're dating somebody, then now you're courting someone and you don't trust them, I don't think that relationship should go any further. I just think that listen, count the time that you've had. If the time was good, count it all joy and move on. If it was bad, listen, say, you know what? Thank you for letting me see the true you before my emotions get all intact and I'm not able to let go. All right. Welcome and good evening to everyone that's just joining. Blessings to you all. Right. So if I'm dating you, we're not exclusive, and I can't trust you or you can't trust me. So let's not just put it on one person. If you can't trust me either, then that's a red flag. That's a huge red flag. When I say huge, it's huge because your whole relationship is going to be where you at. What time you gonna be home? How come you came home late? Why didn't you tell me this? And you said you were gonna be here, but you're there. Wants to be in a relationship like that. Now I know some persons who are currently in relationships like that, and I'm not talking about being accountable. Like my husband, if I'm going on the street, my husband know where I'm going. Listen, this morning I had a dental appointment and I forgot to tell him that I was going to the dentist. So when he called and I wasn't available, then when I was able to call him back, he was like, "You didn't tell me you were going to the dentist." It just slipped my mind. It just slipped my mind, right? So accountability is key. Sometimes people think accountability is you just want to know my every move. No, accountability is saying I'm going to be at the dentist in the event something happened, right? So I don't mind being accountable. I don't mind saying, listen, I'm going to the mall. I'm going to Coral Ridge Mall, or I'm going to the garden, West Palm Beach garden mall, right? So it's a lot of times when we are not accountable, it breeds different issues in the relationship. So we've got to make sure that we are being held accountable from time to time, right? Now, accountability is not control. A lot of persons may feel like accountability is control, but it's not control. Just letting the person know where you are at a particular time. And I don't mind doing that. I don't mind being accountable. I don't mind telling my spouse telling my husband, even telling my mom, even telling a friend where I'm going or what I'm doing. I don't feel like that's too much information to give out. I don't feel like that the person just want to know where I am so they can spy on me and check. I don't feel like that. Now somebody else may feel like that. But accountability is key, right? Accountability is the key to success. And a lot of times, a lot of time we tend not to want to be accountable. And me personally, I don't have a problem. My husband don't have a problem either. And so what does accountability look like to everybody? It looks different, right? So red flag to me, that's a huge issue in a relationship. If it's a red flag, that's a big, if it's a trust issue, I'm sorry. If trust issue is a red flag, if you're having issues with trust, remember, the foundation of our relationship is based on I can trust you. I can take you at your words. I don't know you to be a liar. So I can take you at your word, right? So we need to be accountable. More and more persons, I guess this new age dating, you're not accountable because you're just dating. So I don't have to tell you where I am. I don't have to tell you that I'm going over yonder. I don't have to tell you that I don't know. I don't feel like telling you where I'm going, right? I don't accountability. Even if you're gonna spend money, say for instance, now you're in the courting stage to get married, and you're saving your finances. Then now you have to be accountable with the finances. You have to say, listen, this is what happened, and this is what we're going to do. So accountability is key. It's key to the relationship. Trust issues is a thing where persons, like I said, if you're dealing with trust issues from a young person, you're going to continuously deal with it if you don't deal with the issues why you're not able to trust, right? You have to deal with the issues of why you're not able to trust. So I was having some reconnection issues. So thank you again for joining us, right? So if you now are not able, if you are not able to trust somebody, then to me that's a problem. That's a problem. And it's a huge red flag if it start out in the dating process. As I said, I don't want to date anybody that I can't trust. No, I might as well just leave that relationship, right? And so that's where we're going to end with that. So I said yes, trust issues is a red flag. Trust issues is a red flag in a relationship, a huge red flag, right? Now, is having trust issues toxic? Let's talk about that. Is having trust issues toxic? Now, listen to this, right? When people harm you and betray your trust, your feeling of security can be shattered. I'm going to say that again. Excuse me, because a lot of time people feel like um if you betray me or if I betray you, I'm feeling like you should still trust me. No. My security now has been shattered. Like my sense of security now said, I can't trust you because you're not a person that keeps your word. So it can be toxic, right? You start to expect the worst from others and become suspicious and skeptical. Now, why would I want to be in a relationship with somebody that I'm dating or courting or even married to and have this toxic trait, right? Now, why would I want to always expect the worst from you? Lord help us tonight. Yes, right? And so I don't want to be suspicious of you. I don't want to become skeptical. I want to be able to take you at your word. Now, this lack of trust commonly referred to as having trust issues, right? And it can be very harmful to your mental health and your relationship with others. When you if I have a trust issue, if I'm having trust issues, it can be harmful to my mental health because my mental stability is going to be weak, and I'm always going to be skeptical. I'm always going to be suspicious. So my mental state of mind is going to war on me. It's going to weigh heavy on me. If you say you're going to the supermarket and I didn't see you come back, and you come back with a bag from Ross, then I'm going to say, wait a minute, you said you was going to the supermarket. Why didn't you tell me you was going to Ross? So developing, having a trust issue that's as a toxic trait, yes, you can. It's very toxic because you will not be able to trust anybody. You won't be able to trust anything people say. Let me tell you something. Let's deal with our trust issues that we're having. Can trust issues can also be a trauma. You could have been traumatized by an event and develop trust issues. That's why we have to be healed when we say we want to be in relationship. I'm not saying that we need to be perfect, but we need to be working on ourselves. And working on yourself doesn't always mean going to therapy. It doesn't always mean that. It means that, listen, I'm having some issues and I just need to work on myself. Let me work on me to find out, why am I having a problem? Why is this happening to me? Why can't I now focus? Why am I so suspicious? My God, help me today. Why can't I now be vulnerable? When you have trust issues and you're toxic, you're not vulnerable. You can't be vulnerable. You're just operating. You're just there. You're not focused. You're skeptical. You're suspicious. You now have to work on you. Work on what's causing. Work on what has caused the trauma. Right? And most of the time, when persons have been traumatized, then they definitely need to see a therapist, right? So we've got to be careful because some trauma you can't take care of, right? Some trust issues, yes, you can take care of them on your own, but some trauma, depending how on the trauma, you cannot work that out by yourself. I've not known a person who can work on their trauma by themselves. They have to have help. All right. So I'm just I want us to to be mindful of when we say, I'm having trust issues because I've been traumatized. Have you worked on what caused your trauma? Have you worked on it? If you haven't, then you need to work on it because you're no good for yourself and for the person that you're in the relationship with. We all have to work on ourselves, self-love, self-care, self retrospect, building up ourselves, right? And so we don't want to be now in a relationship with someone and we are still dealing with trauma. We're going to bleed out on that person, and that person has done nothing to us. All right. So when we talk about trust issues with trauma, yes, having trust issue is toxic. It's very toxic. When I tell you it's toxic, and don't no one want to be around a toxic person, right? Now, can you love someone and not trust them? What do y'all think? Talk about this. Can you love someone and not trust them? That's a bit right? And so let's say this. Let's say this, right? Let's say this. If you trust, you can love someone and not trust them, right? So listen, the simple part of my point and this session is that it's possible to love someone you don't trust. It is possible. It is possible. However, right? The complex part is that this very ability or tendency to love without trust that complicates and prolong unhealthy relationship. Listen, you can love someone and not trust them, and you'll be going crazy. It is going to affect your mental health, just like with the toxic trait and the trauma issues with with the mental state. Your mental state is going to be weakened if you're already stressed out. If your mental capacity is not at 80 to 100%, you loving someone and not trusting them, that's going to increase your mental state, and it's not going to be in a good way, and it's going to complicate the relationship. The longer you are in it, it's going to prolong unhealthy relationship. I want you to understand the thing about being in a successful relationship. It doesn't mean that you have to be perfect. However, it means that you cannot have too many baggages that you're dealing with, that you can't have baggages that you're not dealing with to get yourself better, right? No one can be in a relationship and don't fully trust. Right? It's like playing that game. I remember when we were younger, we used to play the game. You fall back to see if the person's gonna catch you. If you're in a relationship with someone and you can play that game honestly without looking, if you can say, or if you're saying that I can never play that game with my spouse or my partner, then you don't trust them. You don't fully trust them. Yes, you love them, but you don't trust them, and you're just prolonging an unhealthy relationship. I want us as let's start normalizing rebuilding ourselves through self-help stuff, right? And if you're a believer, right, if you're a believer, then you know that when we put our trust in God, right, He's going to take care of us, right? We're going to trust God and not doubt Him. And most of the time, as people, as human beings, when we have interpersonal trust issues, oh God, in relationship, then we extend it now to our Father, to our Creator. We extend that lack of trust to Jesus Christ or whoever you believe in, whatever belief system you have. You're not in it 100%, right? Because believing, being in a religious organization or having a religious belief, that means you're going to fully trust what you believe in. Like you got to fully stand firm on the foundation that you can unequivocally say, my hope is built on nothing less than Jesus' blood and his righteousness, right? So when you can fully stand on the promises of God and not doubt and not stagger, like Abraham staggered not at the promises of God, right? If you can truly do that, then you trust. So we need now to come into our personal relationship between our husband and wife, right? And begin to trust them. We have to learn and know that we trust our spouse. It's a challenge when we don't trust them. It's very challenging when we do not trust our spouse. Amen. So I wanted to bring that point out. Can you love someone and not trust them? Absolutely. But just know that going to breed without trust is going to complicate and prolong unhealthy relationship. It's just going to complicate it because you love somebody. Listen, when you love somebody, it complicates things when you don't trust them. All right. So I just want us to get that out because I want you to be able to love and trust fully. Right now, how do you love someone with trust issues? I'm going to just name a few things, and I see we have to continue again on this next week, right? Just a few things. I'm going to name a few, and then we're going to close out because I don't want to overburden you with too much, because sometimes too much information at one time just I don't want you to be stressed out, right? So how do you love someone with trust issues? The first thing that I'm going to suggest that you do is avoid triggering behaviors. And so this is why it's important, it's very important now to be dealing with your trust issues, to be getting help with your trust issues, to be working on your trust issues, because now certain behaviors is going to trigger the trust issues. And I'm just going to do that one for tonight, right? Certain behavior trigger, it will trigger trust issues. So we've got to be mindful. Listen, I mean, I enjoyed the time spending with you. I'm happy that, you were able to come on. I'm just grateful for everyone that continues to support. Please continue to support us every Monday night on Prayer for Marriages. Our goal is that we're trying to save marriages one family at a time. Save families one marriage at a time, one couple at a time. So if we have saved a couple tonight from breaking up, from divorce and or separation and or divorce, that we have done our job for this week, because we want to foster healthy relationships. Amen. So God bless you, God keep you is our prayer. If you have not joined our Thursday night community, if you missed last week's session, you want to come back this week, we have to have part two. That fragile part of me that I need to protect. You want to come in the room on Thursday night on our Zoom sessions. Amen. God bless you, God keep you is our prayer. Have a good rest of your evening, and good night. Love you all.